Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Kimpton, and this is video instructions for how to make your own rock layer puzzle. So we'll be doing this in class. For those of you who aren't in class, hopefully this will be helpful so that you can create your own rock layer puzzle. Okay, so I'm going to go through the instructions, give you some tips for success, um, and a few little examples, not necessarily that meet the same requirements that our directions do, but at least you'll get the gist of it. Okay. So here we go. Rocks aren't just rocks, as I've said in class many times. They are a record of events in history. And here we have on the screen some examples of rock layer puzzles. Okay. You can see most of them are actually a puzzle now because they're not putting the letters or the numbers in sequential order. Okay. We want to make it actually a puzzle and not just something that people are using to teach themselves. We've already done that in class. So you'll be making these for some friends in class to practice. A good way to study, assuming that those rock puzzles are accurate and possible. But either way, making the puzzle is actually a great way to practice relative dating, since we can't actually go out into nature as a class and do this. We're going to make some of our own and practice together in class. So here we go. Um, these are also posted on Canvas. Okay. So for this assignment, you're going to be drawing a section of rock layers, much like those pictures we just saw on the first slide. Okay. It needs to include the following, what we've practiced in class: superposition. So you need to clearly show that younger rock layers are at the top of the picture and older rock layers are at the bottom. Your principle of original horizontality. So you need to take at least three of your layers in that rock column and make them have not horizontal anymore. So think of folding, tilting, faults, something like that. You don't have all three of those, but three of your layers need to be disturbed from being horizontal. Okay. And make sure you think about that ahead of time because it's really interesting when sometimes people have like three layers in the middle of their stack folded, but they didn't do anything to the layers above or below. So think about it, look at some examples, and that should make things more possible geologically. The principle of cross cutting, right? So things that go across other rock layers are younger. So you need to have a fault or a dike, an intrusion. You can add a sill if you want, running through at least three of your layers. Okay. It doesn't have to be the same three layers that you did, although you might have some type of interaction between those two requirements. And then you need to have an unconformity. Okay. So that's due to erosion by wind and water. Rock gets weathered and eroded away, it's missing. Okay. Show this with a single wavy line. That's the easiest way to do it. However, you can also do it by having that wavy line, and then there's clearly like the top of a fold or a fault that has been zipped off the surface and a news story stacked on top. Okay, so just like we've seen and practiced in class. So here's a little example that we had from class, right? We can pretend that we drew that. I don't know if that one meets all the requirements, but we could always go and look at that. So make sure you're meeting those requirements because that's how you're graded on this. Have each layer labeled with a letter or symbol or number. Okay. And don't do it like some of the examples you'll see online where they're all in order. There's no puzzle if it just goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We want people to actually have to think. So make it random so it's not so easy to solve. Okay. You're going to also, once your picture is done, just do the rock face. Don't make it three-dimensional. We don't want to see cubes. That really kind of messes people up. Just make it that one flat face, like you're driving along a cliffside and you're seeing all this cool stuff recorded in the rock. Have a question at the bottom about the rock disturbance order from youngest to oldest. Okay, so ask them, what is the order of rocks and events from youngest to oldest? Create a question that asks what type of event or environment made a specific rock layer. So pick a rock layer in your puzzle and ask what type of environment made this. Maybe it's sandstone made by a sandy beach, or maybe it's an intrusion that's made by magma rising through Earth's crust. So there's lots of options, and on the directions, there's different rock types that we've given you that you can use to explain that. Create an answer key for your quiz on the back. Okay, don't make it on the front because then they're just going to see the answers. Um, we want it to be a puzzle, not just something that is used as notes. So make a key to your questions on the back of your drawing. Have a key for the rock order, be vertical, okay, on the back, so we can actually practice that superposition. And that's going to help some of your friends that maybe are still working with that concept of older being on the bottom, new on the top. Okay, if you do it in reverse, the key gets very confusing for people trying to solve your puzzle. So go from top, or pardon me, from bottom to top to solve, starting with superposition, just like we practiced in class. Um, and then any answers to the questions that you had, as stated above, the answers to those questions should be on the back. So that's pretty straightforward. Okay, so most of these expectations are for when you're in class, but if you missed class, it'd be good to know how we did it. Make sure it's your own puzzle. Don't copy someone else's. Okay, that can be easy to do, but don't. You can use the internet or your DINB to help see examples. So, like I had examples back at the first slide here. Okay, I just pulled those from the internet. Okay, now most of these could help you quite a bit, but they may not meet all the requirements that we have, that Ms. Schlender and I have put on this assignment. Okay, so be careful. Use it maybe as something to inspire your drawing or puzzle, but don't just copy it. Okay, that's not going to be practicing doing this. That's not going to be any learning. Use your brain to design something new. Okay, sketch out your plan and ideas in pencil. Okay, before you actually start doing anything in color, you want to sketch it out. Use a ruler, right, to make it, I think about 14, probably want this side, 14, so it's backwards, but 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters. I think that's about right. Yeah, at least that big. Okay, but you don't want it to take up the entire page because you need to have your quiz down at the bottom. Okay, so sketch it out before making the key or coloring the puzzle, and maybe show it to somebody else. Maybe you'll have a chance to be working next to a friend, or I can come by and kind of let you know. Well, that's not really. That's kind of confusing or unclear or not possible. Um, but do your best. Do it in pencil first. You're going to start off working by yourself. Those of you in class, the first 10 minutes are going to be quiet, individual work time, so we can get everybody kind of started on this, right? So that if you do accomplish that 10 minutes of being quiet and working on it, I can get to help you more. Miss Schlender can get to help you more. And then by the time you get to go and work with friends or your lab partners, you will have something already going, right? And less distractions at first. So follow directions, use color, and try your best. All right. So that's it. Remember to maybe go and browse some of the examples. It's sometimes pretty clear when someone has just totally copied something. I would say most things online do not meet these requirements. May meet some of these requirements, but not all. So use it as inspiration or some guidance, but otherwise make your own. Okay. It's a good way to practice. The largest part of this unit of Earth history is relative dating. Okay, you got your DINB, you've got your friends, you've got your teachers. We're all here to help you out, and it can be a fun day to kind of relax, draw, do some geology, and some coloring. So, good luck. I hope it goes well, and then reach out to your teachers if you have any questions. All right, have a great day.